Welcome to Amazing Botswana. My name is Janaina Matarazzo, and I would like to tell you guys that you won't believe it, but you can actually go on a horseback in the middle of the Okavango Delta or in the middle of the Makarikari salt pans. I mean, you can literally come here to Botswana and experience riding a horse, watching elephants, giraffes, and lions, not too close, of course. And I'm so excited because I'm here next to an incredible man called David Foot, and he is the guy and the guide, your guide, that is going to take you on the most phenomenal horse adventures that you can ever think about, that you could do it in your life. So I'm so excited for this chat. David, thank you so much for your time, and I mean, I'm so excited to hear about your story and all of those adventures, riding horses in the bush. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, thanks, Janaina.
Yeah.
Thanks for the introduction.
Welcome.
Yeah, we look forward to riding with lots of your guests, hopefully going forward.
Yeah. And how did you start it, like horse riding in Africa? I mean, I know you have a very a long history with horses, and yeah, just tell us about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm born and raised in Malawi, that little known safari country.
Yeah.
Not many people have heard of it, let alone been there, but beautiful country. It's another place to visit if you ever have a chance. And
Yeah.
funny enough, some of the greatest conservation in Africa is going on in Malawi at the moment, but that's an aside. But yeah, that's where I was born and raised, and way back in 1990 I started my own safari business there. There wasn't really a safari industry, and beaten up old Land Rover, drove around,
Yeah.
very simple safaris, and we used to visit right up in the north, a place called the Nika, and I thought this is a great place to ride horses. So 1993, so yeah, how many years ago? 30 years ago we started
30 years ago.
horse safaris
Yeah, in Malawi.
up in Malawi, and then 15 years ago we moved down to Botswana, and we put half our herd, which was so we put 17 horses in one truck. We had a 4-day journey, 2,000 kilometers from Malawi down to Botswana
Incredible, with the
to
horses.
start a new life down here. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the horses, that was quite a journey.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But yeah, we made it.
Exactly.
Despite running out of the truck running out of fuel, literally
Yeah.
50 kilometers from Maun at
Oh,
9
wow.
o'clock at night.
Oh wow.
The sort of the last eventful part of the journey.
Yeah.
And yeah, since then we've been building up our horse safari business alongside our walking safari business as well.
That's very nice. So guys, this is incredible. So you can literally, ride horses across Africa or across Botswana. I mean, they offer so many different types of safaris. It's a massive adventure like that you would never experience anywhere in any other type of safari, actually. But you have to be a good rider. You can come here in a group where maybe some of you are not super professionals, because then you can always go and do something else, or mix. But you have to be quite good, right, with the horses, especially if you are doing horse riding in the Okavango Delta, or not really, David. How does that work?
Oh, absolutely. So experienced riders is important in the Okavango. It's really important because you're riding amongst a lot of what is potentially dangerous wildlife.
Yeah.
So you need to know, well, what you need to do is stay on your horse when things happen
Yeah.
quickly and
Yes.
horses turn and spin.
Yeah.
So that's really, as I always say to the guests, please stay on your horse, because
Yes.
my life gets difficult if you don't.
Yes, it's true.
And then in the Makadikadi, you don't have to be quite so experienced, but
Yeah.
in order to really benefit from the huge open spaces of these of the largest salt pan complex in the world,
Yeah.
and these incredible endless yellow grasslands along the edge of the salt pans. If you really want to make the most of it, again, being a good rider, because we can really pick up the pace there and have
Yeah.
some faster riding. but out there in the Kalahari, Makadikadi, we can also take people who are less experienced.
True, right?
Because even though there are lions and elephants, it's much more open country, and we can see, any issues from far away. So.
Guys, I'm sure that you came across, I think, on the internet about those beautiful horses riding the Makadikadi salt pans here in Botswana. I mean, they're becoming quite famous, like the scene of the horses riding in that desert white area, and with the migration as well, the zebra and wildebeest migration that happens now during the rainy season. So hurry up if you want to experience that, because the season starts. I mean,
well, they'll be arriving in the area with the first rains.
Yeah.
So that we always, obviously, everybody here in Botswana is always praying for the first rains. Pula.
Yes.
But we hope by December we'll have had rain, and then the zebras and the wildebeest, they smell that rain on the air, and then they just start moving towards the area we operate in. And the reason they move there is because of these endless grasslands for them to feed on.
Yeah, it's stunning, guys. That safari with you riding a horse in the Makadikari, it's now from, let's say December, January, February. It happens only in that short amount of time, so you have to really organize this trip in advance. But we are closer now. It's still time for you to do that, but otherwise make a plan already, and know that that's the season that you're going to see and experience that. And you're also going to see the meerkats, those little guys that I joked yesterday with Jack. I said the meerkats are becoming more famous than the lions. People are more interested to see them.
I know the habituated meerkats are definitely a highlight of anybody's safari, and anybody coming to Botswana really should go out there. And I think a lot of people miss out, because I think a lot of people don't get to go there.
That's true.
But I think anything that's habituated, whether it's meerkats or gorillas, mountain gorillas, or chimpanzees, the fact that you as a human can be ignored by them and be out of a vehicle, and to have these wild creatures behaving in a natural way all around you is very, very special. Yeah. And of course they're very cute.
Yeah, they're super cute. And guys, how long, now the next question is, how many nights do you need to come on a trip like this? What is the 5, 6, 7 nights?
Well, we have a incredibly diverse portfolio of rides.
Yes.
And I think it depends which rides you want to do.
Yeah.
But to me, the ultimate horse safari in Botswana, if not the whole of Africa, would be to do a ride that combines riding in the Okavango Delta, one of the greatest wildlife areas in Africa, with riding in the Kalahari and the Makadikadi Pans. So we run a safari called the Delta and Desert on horseback, and with that you would get to ride in two extraordinary areas, equally extraordinary as each other, both unique. You almost feel you'll have had 2 holidays.
Yeah.
You'll ride different horses. You'll have 2 completely different riding experiences.
Yeah.
And I think that that is what everybody should aim for if they can and have the time. And there we run a number of set dates throughout the year.
Okay.
So that people can book into. Obviously, if you can bring a whole group yourself, then we can do private dates. But we also run set dates that 1s and 2s can book into.
Okay.
We take a maximum of 8 riders, and so it's always small, it's intimate. You've got your private guide with you, and then, as I say, to then ride in both those areas, you will really optimize your time in Botswana. But we also will do other rides. So we have our pure Okavango ride, where you can spend a week riding. We do a mobile, so it's very, very adventurous. The whole camp has to be moved by Makoro.
Wow.
So we contract 12. Makoros are, I'm sure Janaina has maybe told you in previous videos she's done, but Mokoros are the traditional way of traversing the Okavango. It's a dugout canoe, and so we load up 12 Mokoros. That's also a very important part of our safaris, is the fact that we're now contracting villagers to move our camp with their Mokoros, and that's a really, really important part, is making sure that the local communities benefit from our safaris. You know, I think going forward in Africa, if the local communities don't see a benefit from the safari industry from tourism, then you know they won't see the benefit of having wildlife on their doorstep. So it's a really, really big part of what we believe in that the communities must get something out of our safaris.
That's very nice.
So contracting them with their Mokoros is an important part of that.
Because I want to add, guys, that sometimes people if you've never been here, you don't really understand the behind the scenes, what goes behind the scenes for, especially on a horse back, what it needs to bring the horses, the food, the structure, the tents, all the way to a very remote area that it takes days sometimes, and it's a massive move to make sure that you're gonna have your beautiful camp in the middle of a very, very remote area. And sometimes you need locals to help with the canoe, so to transport everything. So Botswana, like I said again, is wild here, is remote here. That's why it's so special. You're gonna feel that you are in a very, very beautiful, unique part of this planet here, so well developed. Here you're gonna feel that you are where we all want to be so much, this raw and looking at the stars, you know, going early morning, sunset. I mean, it's a phenomenal experience. And on a horseback, I mean, a vehicle, when you go on a game drive, which is the vehicle that it's going to take you to see wildlife, instead of that, when you are on a horse, you're quiet, you don't have the sounds of the engine, so now the animals are more relaxed around you because you're actually sitting on a horse, on another animal. And so it's a totally different experience, right, than being on a game drive, on a boat. I mean, it's something very unique.
Well, it couldn't be more different. I mean, we all know that being on a safari vehicle and getting great photos of the wildlife is fantastic. You know, if you've never seen any of these iconic African species. But to get out of the vehicle, you know, you're always one step separated with the vehicle. So to get out of the vehicle and be on a horse, you're fully immersed in the bush. And I think that's what most people comment on afterwards, is that they couldn't believe that they could feel so immersed in it, so surrounded, you know, where you're not only viewing, you know, all your senses are awakened, because, you know, we're always using our eyes, you know, we're mostly focused as humans, as you know, and using our eyes, but, you know, you're also now, when you're out of the vehicles, you're listening all the time, and that's a very important part of being in the bush, is listening, and of course, you know, your smell as well. So all your senses are important and are awakened, and I think that's a real eye-opener, something special for people, where, you know, especially when they come from a place where they're just surrounded by sound all the time. So, and of course, if you love horses, you know, that's just the bonus, isn't it? You're on something you love, and you're bonding with your horse, so you know, you're getting everything you want and need in life.
It's incredible. And and then after your experience riding a horse here with David, and then you get to know Africa, you get to know the bush, and you know, we are going to choose, I'm going to help you to choose with David what is the best for you. Is it to go and do the Okavango, the Kalahari, what areas, how many people are you going to be traveling? We are going to organize and make sure that you are going to have the best, you know, safari package for you. You arrive here in Maun, and we are going to put you in a helicopter, and you're going to fly to where the camp is, right there. You won't believe it. I mean, while they are preparing everything, crossing Mokoros, getting the horses, all you need to do is to get into your helicopter and land right there. So if you live any city in the world, you actually, it's incredible, the logistics of Botswana safaris. I love it because you fly into Maun, and from here it's straight into the bush. It's from your home, you're gonna be landing into the camp.
Well, we hope it's home from home. So we
Yeah.
always say, well, welcome to your new home
Exactly.
underneath this sausage tree for the next 3 nights, and people
Yeah,
are looking around,
exactly.
and yeah, so it's couldn't be more of a contrast
Yeah.
probably from where people are coming from.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that earlier you mentioned the word raw, and that's very much,
Yeah.
you know, we once did, when we first came to Botswana, we did set up a company called Raw Botswana,
Oh yeah.
and I was because that's what I wanted to offer people. I wanted to offer people the really raw experience where it's what's all around you that matters.
Yeah.
You know, the birds calling, you can hear the babbler babbling away,
Yeah.
you know, shouting me, telling me I'm talking nonsense. But
Yeah.
so on our camp that has moved with the Makoras, that's very much the experience
Yeah.
you're going to get. You know, you're going to go, if you want to, wild swimming in the Okavango. You know, there's no chlorinated swimming pool like
Exactly,
you would
yeah.
have at a lodge. This is
Yeah.
all about wild
Yeah.
experiences. You're almost certainly not going to see another person for the whole week you're riding with us, apart from your, you know, the camp staff,
Yeah.
the horse grooms, and you know, your fellow
Yeah.
riders.
So can you guys imagine, you are in the Okavango, let's say now, you come here, it's October, November, even September, it's warm during the day. I mean, the whole year during the day can be warm. Botswana, it is a warm sort of country, and now you are riding your horse, and now you have to cross this little river there, and hopefully there is no hippos and crocodiles. They are going to make sure that you're going to be safe. And now you come and get yourself in a beautiful swimming, you know, position, you and your horse there, and then you just relax in that river, and then off you cross, right? And then off you go. I mean,
Yeah, that's how it works. And the wonderful thing about being on the horse, we can go to places that, you know, other people can't get to, vehicles can't get to, and that's why we often don't see another person on the safari. And that's, you know, I mean, there's not many places I think now in the world where you can really experience that. I mean, that's obviously going to
unique.
mountains, some
Yeah.
places, and but certainly in Africa, as safari tourism has grown
yeah,
and developed, to find really truly wild places
exactly.
where you don't see anybody does get harder. So
Yeah.
we're very, very fortunate, and we feel very, very privileged to be able to do this,
Yeah.
you know, and to have it as part of our lives. I mean, to be out there on the horse, and you know, to be, you know, standing there quietly, and the wind is right, and, you know, a herd of elephants passing quietly past you, you know, 30 meters away,
Yeah,
crossing the river. They can sense perhaps something's there, but because the wind's good, they don't know, and so what it is, so they're relaxed. And, you know, it's just us and them and the wind in the trees, and it's really, really special.
do you have any, or would you like to share any beautiful, interesting encounters, or like
Beautiful encounters or
Beautiful.
frightening encounters. Most people the
Beautiful.
first night round the campfire, they want to know that, you know,
exactly
what's happened, and have you ever used your rifle, and all
Yes,
that.
of
And I always
course.
say, well, we're not going to talk about those until the end of the safari.
Exactly right. Yeah, guys, you know, people, oh, it's dangerous. We are not going to go into deep conversations, because that conversation you are going to have here with David around the fire after your whole day being out there. But don't be afraid. I mean, there are so many other things we must be worried about. This is, the more we learned about nature, and that's why I keep on saying to people as well, a safari is a learning experience. The more we learn about nature, the less we are going to be worried. The more you learn about the animals, the insects, the snakes, the less you'll be worried about them. So we must learn about nature to break that barrier of being scared. There is nothing to be scared. You have to be aware. Listen to your guide, because he knows what it needs to be done. If something, you know, happen if the elephant get too close to you. So you are here to learn and to experience the raw, the beautiful land here of Botswana with so much. I mean, you are gonna see so much wildlife. You think to yourself, I actually didn't imagine that place to exist. That's why some people say that Botswana is the Garden of Eden, because it's like, that dream world that you see out there, that you think that the world should be, the diversity of wildlife. That's here. This place is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the last, recent safaris, and you're riding, and there's just, 9 different species of wildlife: elephants, zebras, giraffe, various antelopes, just spread out in front of you. I mean, it really is. It does feel like Eden, and really is the Africa of old, when wildlife, was all over Africa. And that's the great thing about Botswana is, it's such a vast country. 2.5 million people maximum. So there's a lot of space out there. They're still in a country the size of France. It's how you can imagine Africa was, before we started developing it.
And if you go on a mobile safari with David, they set up everything there for you, but when they leave, there will be nothing there. So the way it was before is gonna be the way, there is no, they have a lot of respect for the environment here. So I really, I love that structure of the mobiles, that you.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely important. I mean, as you say, respect for the environment. So, we try to minimise our footprint there, and of course, that's the best way to do that is on a horse or on a walking safari. You're minimising your footprint. But also, absolute respect for the wildlife. I mean, you mentioned about people shouldn't be scared, and they mustn't be. It's all about being respectful.
Yes.
If you're respectful to the wildlife, you're
totally
fine.
Agree.
So, and as you say, we're there to look after people. We've been guiding people for 38 years now. So
that's it, guys. Please, just come here, and you will. I mean, I'm pretty sure that is gonna be the best trip of your life. I mean, I don't see how any other trip you can do that is gonna be more incredible than going on a horseback in the middle of this beautiful land here. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, and it's, you even after 38 years, I still wake up, and I'm sure you will, if you visit, you wake up every morning, you get woken up while it's still dark. Someone brings you hot water to your tent to have a wash, and you wake up, and it's exciting. You're jumping out of bed. You don't know what are you gonna see today, because every day is different, and you have no idea what's out there. And can't wait to go out each day to explore, and whether some days it's quieter than others, but some days it's action packed with elephants and buffaloes, and if you're lucky enough to see some lions, and
it's incredible. And after you come here for the horse safaris, and then you are ready for the next one, which is the walking safaris.
That takes it one step further.
So I'm gonna have another chat with David about the walking safaris, because that's another safaris that he is also involved, and he does very well. But I do believe that you can come first for the walk, but I think first experience the horse, and then you come here for the next one, and then you do a very, very big adventure walking safaris with David.
Yeah, well, you can do a combination as well. I mean, we have some of our regular riders who come twice a year. They will do 3 days walking and with some horse riding either side. So we run a very flexible business. We as I said, we've got a very diverse portfolio of rides. So, and we especially if there's a group booking, we can put any itinerary together, mixing the different destinations, and mixing some walking in, and obviously if you've got non-riders, they can also be walking in. And we can also, we've recently set up a new operation where we actually have built a barn with we keep horses at a very small, beautiful, intimate camp called Chachametsi in the Okavango.
Very nice.
And so we can combine with that as well, or people who may think that this adventurous stuff we've been describing might not be quite for them.
Yeah.
Then there's that option as well.
That's very good.
It's a absolutely stunning camp. It overlooks permanent water, so it's the only riding camp in the Okavango that overlooks permanent water.
That's very nice.
So there's always the opportunity to splash through the water on your horses, and we're very excited about that as having added that to our portfolio. So really, we can offer, with this diversity, we can offer any type of riding for any type of person in any destination, really, in northern Botswana. Because we even have our base just outside Maun on a private wildlife reserve where our old safari horses retire, and there we take beginners riding on the old safari horses, and that's, I think, in some ways that's something that we really feel is special to be able to introduce seeing wildlife on horseback to people who've maybe never been on a horse.
I think
we really enjoy being able to offer that opportunity as well.
That's nice. And they also there is a lodge here in Maun, a new place, and that, let's say you have a big group, and then some of you going with a helicopter in the middle of the delta, and then others can stay here in Maun at the Natural Selection, one of their lodges here in Maun, and you can just stay here and relax and do a very quiet. There is no predators or elephants. They have only giraffes and some antelopes as well, right? So you just relaxing there, trying to get used to horse riding for your next trip while the guys are out there.
Yeah, and it's also a great place if you've had a long flight journey to have a night on arrival, just to unwind and chill out before you head out on safari. But I think it's also, if you've got, if you're coming as a group and some aren't experienced riders or non-riders, this Chachametsi camp offers drives and Makoro rides and walks, and the same obviously where we operate in the Kalahari. We operate out of a fixed camp there, so there's also vehicles there, so you can take a mixed group of riders and non-riders.
That's perfect.
There's normally somebody in a family who doesn't ride.
Yes, it is, right? Yeah. Hi guys, so exciting. And you have David, you have an interesting story about a walk that you did during COVID.
A ride.
So do you want to share that?
Well, I feel a bit bad because, for those people who are locked up in small apartments in the city, to tell them that I spent 53 days during lockdown just riding around Botswana. But yeah, that's what we did. Decided to, how many opportunities do you get to go off on a grand adventure yourself? We also did it, to be honest, as a fundraiser in order to try and get ourselves through COVID.
Yes, very good. 53 days, guys, during COVID, horse riding all over.
Yeah, so we didn't take it at a fast pace, but we ended up doing 1,500 kilometers, and we rode through some of the wildest places in northern Botswana. We went for, obviously it was COVID, so there weren't many people out there, but we went, we didn't see another soul, I think, for 10 days at one point. It was a wonderful way to also get to know other areas of Botswana better, to understand how the whole country and it fits together, and the whole ecology of it. And people were incredibly kind to us en route, and people were incredibly generous, in helping us raise some funds to feed the horses, make sure we didn't have to lay off any staff, and also to make sure we could continue our student education program, where we support the communities by we send 4 people from the local village to South Africa for 1 year training in South Africa in either a tourism college or in the Trackers Academy. So So people were incredibly generous, and we're very grateful for the support we've got for that.
That's
And
nice.
these babblers.
Quiet! I'm joking.
At the same time, you know, we had a great adventure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's guys, yeah. So many. That's, you know, safari is about getting to know each other. You're gonna get to know David. You're gonna sit around the fire. You're gonna have lunch together, breakfast. You're gonna really create friendships. You're gonna talk about life. You're gonna be so refreshing when you get back home. This is a beautiful trip, and I will put all of David's information down below here, and you can have a look at his websites. They have beautiful Instagram as well, and yeah, I'm very excited to hear from you guys, and yeah, we are waiting for you here for this incredible adventure. I think, yeah, what else can we tell them?
We're waiting, the horse is waiting.
The horses are waiting.
Busy buying more horses, so I'm expecting more guests, more riders.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks so much, David. Thanks for your chat, for your time, and we will make another one about focus maybe on the walk and more. I think there is so much to talk about, even the horse ride more. We still have to go through those interesting stories and exciting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, I think what you say about people coming out here and you know, learning about Africa and its environment and its culture and its history, I think that's is really an important part of a safari.
Yeah.
And what's so lovely with doing a horse safari is that, you know, I get to spend a week to 10 days with people, and they do become friends because you're spending a lot of time with them over that period. You know, you're not jumping from one lodge to another.
Yeah.
And that's really, really special. And you know, and there's always the bond with horses. Everybody loves horses.
Yeah.
Everybody loves being on horseback.
Yeah.
I'm sure that people are going to come on safari. They love riding out in the open on horses.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really why I started horse safaris, was because I loved horses and I love the wildlife and I love big open spaces, and horses and big open spaces go together. So
it is so nice. Yeah, so you can go and look at David websites. You see the horses there, beautiful horses. You see more information about, you know, everything, photos of the camp, how is, you know, your tent is gonna be, and you know, things like that. And if you do have any question, just send me a message. I mean, and we start organizing your guys' trip here in Botswana.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I better brush up on my Portuguese.
Yes,
my
exactly.
Spanish. Well, Janaina, you'll be riding with us.
I need to start riding now, getting my riding right, so I can go with you guys, because I know how to ride horses, but I'm not like, you know, I need to just get used to it again. I used to ride when I was younger, but yeah, a lot of the people in Brazil, they have a problem with the language. I mean, when I came to Botswana, I could hardly speak English in 2008, and I'm still battling. But now at least I can, you know, I can have a conversation like now I'm having with David, so and I can share with you guys, you know, the information. But yeah, don't worry if you don't speak English. We will make a plan for you, and just get yourself here and everything is going to be fine.
Absolutely. Well, earlier this year I had 5 gentlemen that left their wives at home from, I forget the name of the island, one of those islands in the Mediterranean off Spain.
Oh wow.
I can think of the one Ibiza, but there's the other 2 that begin with M. Anyway, they came and they didn't speak, really, only one of them spoke. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Menorca. They were from Menorca, where I was very interested. I hadn't realised there was a very big horse culture.
Oh wow.
In Menorca. They have special Menorcan horses.
Wow.
But we had an absolutely blast with them, even though there wasn't much, you know, direct communication with speaking, but lots of sign language and laughing and so.
Buenos dias, David.
I've been trying to work on my French first, but I think just getting a bit older. getting a bit old to learn languages.
Exactly. You guys must come here and learn Setswana and you know, just have fun. We you know, it's all about having a good time as well, and you know, there is never a bad day on a safari in the bush, never. I mean, you wake up, there is no reason. It's a happy environment. It's beautiful. So yeah,
it certainly is. Janaina's got that right, and
Yeah.
you know, it's for anybody who visits, or even for us who live
Yeah.
here, it's a real, you know, privilege, honour to be able to spend time, you know, in this part of Botswana.
yeah. Guys, have a beautiful day and keep in touch with us. And David, thanks so much again. But we keep our chats going, and we have so much more to talk about. And yeah, thanks a lot for everything.
Yeah, thank you, Janaina.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Bye bye.
What was it? What's goodbye
That's it.
in Spanish? Or Portuguese, I mean.
Ciao ciao. And
Ciao,
also
ciao.
in Italian is ciao for
Ciao.
hello and
Bye.
ciao. And Spanish, hola, ¿qué tal? If you say hello, como va? But a goodbye. How is a goodbye? French is
In
bo-
Chinyanja from
bonsoir.
Malawi, it's Betani Bueno.
Ça va, bonsoir. Ça va, bonsoir. And it goes like this. I know Japanese is arigato. Yeah.
You'll be the translator for many different nationalities.
I mean, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be just a little bit of everything, like just hello and goodbye. And Dumela is in Setswana, Dumela Ra for the gentleman, Dumela Ma for the lady. But yeah, it's getting a bit hot now.
It's warming up now, yeah. Absolutely.
I think our hot coffee is too hot.
It's been boiling in the sun there.
Yeah, okay.
Hope the
I
milk
mean-
hasn't curdled.